Don't forget to join the Discord, link in the description. Hello my Broccolites. Today we're going to be playing through all of ULTRAKILL in under 1 hour with nothing but the sawed-on jackhammer, for no particular reason. If you couldn't tell by the fact that I've already picked up the piercer, I don't play the campaign very often. There are many points in this run in which I don't skip rooms that I can actually skip, because I didn't know I could skip them, because frankly I don't actually speedrun this game either. This is because I'm diagnosed with something called cybergrind brain, which the treatment for is actually just more cybergrinding, unfortunately. Anyway, on to 0-2. So that was 0-2. Anyway, on to 0-3. My favorite part about 0-3 is that it lets you skip straight to Swords Machine. My least favorite part about 0-3 is that I'm an idiot, and after beating Swords Machine I actually ended up just looping back outside and then back in, because I'm an idiot. I also picked up the shotgun. So I took the time in 0-4 to remove the piercer and the Cortex shotgun from my roster. Because 0-4 is uneventful and the prelude is generally boring, we go straight to 0-5, which is Cerberus. Immediately upon entering, I SSJ straight to the ceiling. Finally, we get to what I consider my warm-up for this run. Double Cerberus is pretty fun, I actually don't mind it, but after the revamp, their movements I still haven't gotten used to, so I actually end up missing a lot of my hits here. But it's not too much of a problem because they're not too difficult, it just kind of extends the time that I'm here. After playing the waiting game against the Cerberus, I finally make it down to Limbo. Unlike no one in particular, drones aren't actually a problem because the jackhammer can just kind of hit scan them while they're directly in front of you. Really glad I'm not using the shotgun at this part. After 1-1, 1-2 starts. Then mid ensues, but then I do this really cool thing with the detached chainsaw. You can't see me killing the street cleaners because I look away like a badass. It's 1-3 and yet again my inexperience shows as the revamp actually made it so that when you fall down that flowing pipe, whatever it is, you actually fall through the floor if you're not dashing or quick enough to grab the skull. So, like an idiot, I fall for the trap and I have to go wrap around again to grab the blue skull for getting the soap and then killing the hideous mass. So no jackhammer or chainsaw gameplay here, but you know, the level kind of plays itself out all on its own. Part of me is glad that this can be skipped because there's so much fodder on this level, but part of me is sad because there were so many more aces I could have hunted for as well. Now it's V2 time, and after smashing my skull against some stone, I arrive to the glass and fuck up the jump, but you know, eventually I get in. I worry a lot because the jackhammer isn't very good against V2. It can be a huge struggle to kill him. Usually it's saw blades is the big answer when you're trying to kill a guy that's running around. He just runs into the saw blades, but I actually don't have that difficult of a time because V2 doesn't have a lot of health in his first fight. So that makes this a bit easier. I just kind of have to land a couple hits here and there, and eventually after enough peppering and after enough chainsawing, I get him down. Now we're in Lust, which is actually my least favorite layer in the entire game, which is really fortunate because this level lets you do something really cool. It's called just blatantly skipping the whole level. And then there's 2-2, which lets you do a little bit of Maurice hunting, which is fun, but everything else about it sucks pretty bad. And then there's 2-3, which is actually my favorite level of Lust because you're doing a bit of everything and they add a new enemy. The Mind Flayer, which I'm actually happy to see outside of the Cybergrind. First time I've actually been happy to see the Mind Flayer at all, I think. But after making quick work of her twice, we hop on over to 2-4, which is a D-tier walking simulator, which turns into a C-tier boss, back into a D-tier walking simulator, and then turns into a B-tier boss. So that's cool. No offense, Gluttony enjoys, but we're skipping Belly of the Beast. It just wasn't the palate cleanser after 2-4. 3-2 is another walking simulator because we don't have saw blades. But we get to smash Gabe, so I guess that's pretty cool. Ignoring the fact that I've already died once, Yeah, Gabe was actually pretty challenging. Mainly because the sawed-on jackhammer is actually one of my least favorite jackhammers. But it's mainly because I'm not using it in the intended way, at least in the campaign, which is just to spam punch the chainsaw back at him. I wasn't that scummy and I wanted to have some fun, so I just decided to go mainly hammer here. But you can see at multiple points I get frustrated trying to hit him because of how inexperienced I am, so I just end up using the chainsaw as a backup. But after enough slide spamming, I finally beat Gabriel, and, well, I mean, greed following this up isn't exactly the most exciting thing. But hey, at least in 4-1 we get to do the funny little thing where we walk a couple feet and then skip the whole level. In 4-2, we immediately start by skipping half the level, and then I accidentally trigger the spawn for this virtue, and he jiggle peeks me around a pillar, so I have to chase him down. Then, I purposefully miss my whiplash, and arrive to the insurrectionist with quadruple jackhammers. Yes, that went as well as you would have supposed. Yeah, pretty freaking cool. 4-3 is up next, and it immediately kills the high from 4-2. I mean, the soap on this level just kind of makes it boring for the final room, you know? I feel like a dual wield power-up would have been really nice. I mean, it's soap. You already know how it goes. It's V2-2 time in 4-4, and I won't bore you with the details. (5-1). A level I actually like. A lot of people really don't like 5-1 because it's a water level, but I like it for that reason. I actually like water levels, the 1.5 that exist in this game so far. We're probably going to get a whole nother water level when it comes to 5-E, and that I'm excited for when the game fully releases. But until then, we're kind of stuck with just using this as our basic understanding of what a water level is supposed to be like in this game. I like the physics. I like how it flings me across the map when I use the jackhammer. I like how a simple whiplash will pull me anywhere. I don't want to talk about it. This level also adds sentries though. Cool enemies. 5-2 picks up and we skip half the level. Aside from a little Maurice hunting and a little bit of virtue hunting, we can mostly skip straight to the ferryman. That is, if you're good at skipping straight to the ferryman, but I'm not, unfortunately. In fact, a lot of people might even describe me as a grade A ULTRAKILL moron. Though, after enough time, even a monkey can put the square block in the square hole. Anyway. Chip of Fools, 5-3, has one of my favorite combat rooms in the entire game. You'd think this is a non-jackhammer friendly zone, but I actually have a lot of fun in this room. It kind of balances the whole idea of you're stuck in here with the enemies, or are they stuck in here with you? You know what I mean? No matter how many times I play this room, as long as I don't find all of the, optimized speedrunning strategies, it always feels like they're throwing enemies at me at such a rate that I can't really keep up. But that's half the fun of it, because I know I will keep up, but it is fun to feel like I will die at any moment. 5-4 is the level where I realize that I have the rocket launcher and the row cannon on me right now, so I make an effort to take those off. Oh, and yeah, it's Leviathan time. You know what that means. Fun times. 6-1 is the level where we go Maurice hunting, fight in a dark room that no one likes, and then proceed to skip almost the entire rest of the level up until you bump your head on the top and fail miserably. Just before we leave, we come to him, and then I mean, God, you love to see it. 6-2 is the level where we actually come to him. Gabe 2 is the fight where I use the chainsaw actually very well. Impressively enough that I end up using the chainsaw with my mind. Yes, I am punching the chainsaw with my mind. Do you see a fist half the time punching that chainsaw? No, you don't. I'm punching it with my mind. If you still don't believe me, just wait in a couple seconds when the room lights up. You can clearly tell after I'm done juggling in here that I am punching the chainsaw with my mind. This is what happens when you fuse your soul with the sawed-on jackhammer. Let me tell you, you're not getting results like this with the shotgun. "7-1 is the M&M level, because it's just mannequins and minotaurs. It's not all bad though. There's this room, which is full of virtue, so you get to do a little bit of virtue hunting with the jackhammer. After that, a mind flayer shows up, and then you get to start hitting women with your hammer. It's my favorite pastime. Minotaur time. His shelly exterior is usually really good at knocking away shotgun pellets, but luckily we're not using a shotgun here. You can get good value with your chainsaw by hitting him in the heart, but I think it's easier just to ride him like a rodeo. Minotaur 2 time, but he's dead, so we're moving on to 7-2. Finally, one of my favorite levels in the entire game. Jackhammers on Gutterman is actually like butter on toast. Usually I prefer to play through the entire level, but unfortunately I'm crunched for time. With 13 minutes on the clock, I'm probably going to have to beat this level the old-fashioned way, or well, the pacifist way, since that's the challenge for this level. Bah, who am I kidding? I've already killed one Gutterman. What's two more? Peak satisfaction. I would stick around to kill the gutter tanks following this Gutterman, but, you know, honestly, if I can avoid it, I will. After a lengthy parkour section and a long train track trek, I finally make my way to the bomb room. And unfortunately, I can't resist. I have to kill the gutter. And the gutter tank, for measure. It's 7-3 time, and I hate this level, so I'm gonna play the whole thing through marked. This won't change much, cause, well, we're Cybergrind players. What could happen? That was awesome. And now, we're gonna play 7-4, the level where we skip half the level. which is sad, because I actually really like this level. I like the whole idea of ascending this giant machine. But hey, lucky for us, we don't have an electric weapon, so we can't skip the security system, which is nice, because I actually like fighting the security system. I don't know why, with the jackhammer, it just feels like you're dealing chunky damage to all the body parts. And now, it's pimple popping time. This is arguably more climactic than this whole video is going to end up being, unfortunately. Especially since the jackhammer is pretty much null and void when it comes to fighting the brain, which you'll see in a couple seconds. It just ends up becoming a fight of punching the chainsaw and parrying, and lazily dodging the lasers. Well, this is it. This is how chainsaw was apparently meant to be used. All the bad players in this game can't really walk up to the brain and just hold the chainsaw, so by this point, hopefully they've learned to be able to punch it. But that's not really so hard to do anyway. Just to give a little bit of context, in this moment I had no idea how much time I had left before the hour would pass, because I had this timer running on my OBS, on my recording software. It was not running on my actual screen. So if I took the time to pause and look at it, I'd be wasting time, and I didn't want to have to do that, so I was stuck wondering, was this going to be the deciding 50 seconds? Well, fortunately it wasn't, but, you know, hey, I went out in style, looked good, used the jackhammer, and I sure as hell had fun doing it. For no particular reason, in this moment it felt good that I was actually leaving and I had a timer above 3 seconds, so it would actually go down like it usually does, using just the jackhammer. I don't know why, just felt worth mentioning. I'll tell you one thing though, when this challenge was done and I saw my time, I was happy. Not only happy that I completed the game in under an hour, but happy that I could finally switch back to the true jackhammer. Pump charge jackhammer. Favorite jackhammer. I'll probably do this whole thing in under 40 minutes with just that thing alone. Maybe I'll do that in another video. We'll see. If you've come to this point in the video, please make sure to subscribe. And, you know, send this to any of your friends or anyone you think might need to see this message. Jackhammer supremacy. Until next time, my broccolites.